All right, so these are the functions of fat. Well, fat is an energy-producing nutrient, therefore it actively produces energy. It's going to make up our cell membrane structure, the phospholipid bilayer, which really helps to regulate what is able to enter and exit the cell. It protects vital organs, specifically. Which one did we talk about yesterday? The kidneys have a fat capsule that helps create kind of like a buffer, a bumper car. It aids in the transmission of nerve impulses. All of our nerves, our neurons, have a sheath along the axon body. What was the sheath called? Nice, the myelin sheath. And most importantly, it does make things taste yummy. I did not get my poutine last night. I did not do my poutine. I had a salad.
No salad? Good.
It was pretty good. Well, it was one of those I had bought and I needed to eat it, or another day or two it was going to go wilty. And they're expensive, so I didn't want to waste it. But it was a good big salad. It had chicken and cheese and croutons. It's not like a calorie restricted salad. And some celery. Yeah, we had that controversy before. How are you not putting celery and cucumber into your salads?
No, I can.
How are you not doing that?
I don't like celery, but I like cucumber.
I love celery.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't
It's
mind
sweet.
it by itself or with like peanut butter, but I don't like it in salad.
Oh no, it's delicious. Chop it up real fine.
Good in chicken salad.
And so your
dried fruit
chicken,
in my salads, like a bunch of different dried fruits.
and so with chicken, as far as nutrients, it's poultry. What does it fall under?
I had no idea a group of people could have such solid thoughts about celery.
Well, we had a solid thought about a question.
Yeah,
We did. That's true. That is in fact true. You had an existential issue with a test question. Why would I not think you'd have an existential issue with celery?
You showed me my boyfriend. Like literally, I will not eat anything. Like taste celery, he just cannot eat it.
I love celery.
Yeah. I like it in soup. That's nice.
Oh, I hate it in
I love
soup.
it in
It's
soup.
mushy and disgusting. Wow, we have some real polar thoughts on celery. Who knew celery would wake you guys up today? That's hilarious.
The moment we start talking about
It's
food,
celery.
Celery. Am I the only one that eats celery with peanut butter?
I love celery and peanut butter and celery.
oh, that sounds gross.
Oh, it's delicious.
You are missing out. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Lauren,
Lauren,
look at Lauren's face.
She's like, nope.
That was the most disgust I have ever seen on someone's face. That was funny. All right. Lipids that are solid at room temperature are referred to as fats. Lipids that are liquid are referred to as oils. This is just our terminology. Now, fat is initially broken down in the stomach, and then it is further broken down in the small intestines. But we know that there are additional steps we have to take. We can't have big fat globules going into my blood. Blood is water-based. And we know that water and fat don't mix. So I have to repackage those fats in the small intestine into something called a chylomicron. Chylomicron is italicized, which tells you what? Probably something you should want to know. These chylomicrons, this repackaged fat, is safer to transport in the water-based blood, and that's how we get them broken down in the liver. But it also means when I am catabolizing adipose tissue, I also have to go through all these steps. So if my blood glucose has fallen, I don't have the time to wait to get all of these steps done. I got my body starting to turn stuff off. It's like shut her down. That's where we talked about with the carbohydrate sugars. We had the glycogen which is the pre-converted glucose that we can bippity boppity boo while we're waiting for the adipose repackaged chylomicrons. Did everybody just follow me on what I said there? Everybody's okay? Love it. So we have some different ways we can classify our fats. One of the ways is by how many double bonds does it have. Saturated fats has no double bonds. It is saturated in single bonds. Mono unsaturated is one double bond. Poly unsaturated, more than one double bond. Now, of these three, which is going to take your body the most amount of energy to break down? The poly unsaturated. So if I have an animal who needs to be on a weight reduction diet, can I just eliminate fat from the diet?
No.
I cannot. I absolutely cannot. But what I can do is I can regulate the type of fat that they're taking in so that we're utilizing a maximum amount of energy to break it down. The more energy my body uses, the less energy is left over to go potentially to the storage unit. Picture. Our saturated fatty acids are more common in our animal fat. Are unsaturated, or as saturation increase. And remember I said the word saturation and single bonds should be the same in your minds. If we're increasing the number of single bonds, it means we are increasing saturation. Yep, just yell it on out. If we are decreasing saturation,
we're
decreasing the number of single bonds. As we increase the number of single bonds, it becomes more liquid. Well, think about your double bonds are more rigid, aren't they? So if I start taking away double bonds, suddenly I don't have something that is nearly as rigid. Single bonds are going to have much less of a structure and be a lot more liquid. Does that make sense to everybody? Absolutely. It's also because it's a medium chain fatty acid. It has to do a lot with the physical makeup. Coconut oil is one of those weird, where it can be semi-solid, and then the minute that you touch it, it turns into a liquid. And then if you leave it, it will go back into kind of a solid. It's kind of like a wax. Yes, absolutely. We can also classify our fats by the length. We have our building blocks, which are short chain. Now, foods are not going to have short chain fatty acids making them up. Short chains are going to make up these other longer chains. It's kind of like a choo-choo train bringing the cars together. Short chains will make up our medium chains, and then we can either connect medium chains or we can connect medium and short together to make our long chains. The longer the chain, the more palatable it is, meaning the better it tastes. Now, medium chain fatty acids, being that they are not as long, right? They are medium. They don't take as much energy to break down. So we're going to see our medium chain fatty acids in things that we don't want to spend a lot of energy, like mother's milk. Mother's milk is very, very high in fat because of energy, but it's medium chain fatty acids, easier for the baby to break down. Their little intestines are still learning what to do. Their little intestines are learning how to do their job when they grow up. We don't want them to give them a super difficult task. So our mother's milk is going to have medium chain, and coconut is going to be a medium chain fatty acid. I think we talked yesterday about that movie, Tom Hanks. Listen, thank you, Castaway, where he's eating the coconuts and they're natural diarrheal. give you terrible diarrhea.
So which one of those chains would store like more fat? Like,
Well,
in your body?
we can't just look at the chain, we've got to also look at the saturation. I could have a saturated long chain, I could also have a poly unsaturated long chain. I need to look at the full configuration of the fat before I can figure out how the body's going to use it. So medium chains, mother's milk, certain foods like cocoa nuts, easily broken down. Long chains are the more common, found in our food, dog food, cat food, and they're more palatable. They taste better. Now we're into some new information. We have a couple of fatty acids that you may have heard of. Omega-3 fatty acids, omega-6 fatty acids. Those are the two most common that we deal with. There are other fatty acids. We only primarily deal with 3 and 6, omega-3, omega-6. Why are they called omega-3 and omega-6? Because of the location of the first double bond. Omega-3 fatty acid, that first double bond is found right behind the third molecule. Omega-6 is right behind the sixth molecule. And basically what that means is our body will look at all of these fat structures. It looks at the number of double bonds. It looks at the length of the chain, and it looks at where is the first double bond. All of that information tells our body what to do with this molecule. Is it a molecule that is going to go towards making my hair and my fingernails nice and healthy? Is it a double bond and a length and a saturation that tells my body it's going to go towards helping my heart, creating cell membranes, or going straight to the storage unit? So I'm looking at all of these different fat factors. That is the instruction manual that tells my body what do we need to do with this. Have you guys heard omega-3, omega-6? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah, you
vitamins.
can. You can take them as a caplet. A lot of beauty products, shampoo, nail products have the omegas infused in them. Although honestly, at that point, it's too late. It is too late. Yeah, I'm going to save you guys a little bit of money while you're still writing notes. Any product for your hair, because oh my God, hair products are a bazillion, brilliant, I'm just making up numbers now, a brillion, a quadrillion dollar industry, especially for people like me,
Curly hair.
the curly girls. We spend a crap ton of money on product. Yes. The leave-in conditioners and the defrizzing and the styling gel and the deep conditioning shampoo that you follow it up with the light conditioning conditioner. It's a whole thing. Once your hair gets here, everything you do is too late. All it's doing is it is basically just putting almost like a waxy covering over your hair. If you think about, especially like those super expensive keratin treatments, you know, you can go to the salon.
I got that done in it.
And it's like, oh my God, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're doing the deep conditioning, you know, you got the split ends, you do the keratin treatment. Here's what that is doing. So what I have in front of me is a small table. And I've got this little vat of wax right here. And just plain old melted candle wax. And I have right here, this is a piece of yarn. And we can see this piece of yarn is really pretty frayed, right? Think about a piece of yarn. And we've got all the little frays here representing our split ends. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply the equivalent of a deep conditioner or a keratin treatment. So I'm going to take this and then dip it into the wax. Let it drip for a second. A little bit more. Okay. Still dripping. Okay, so now we can see this bit of yarn. Look how lovely and smooth it is. We've covered up all the little frays. It feels very smooth and silky. But what's going to happen after time?
It'll wash off.
Yeah, especially watch, I'm going to try and get only on the table, but if I take my finger and I wind, look what just happened to all the wax. It didn't it all crack off. And so that's exactly what's happening and why you need to go back and do the deep conditioner and the keratin treatment over again. Gotta commit. Come on.
But then how should we take care of our hair without getting all that waxy stuff on it?
I know.
I
That
could
was,
imagine the wax is like.
I like to use a leave-in conditioner called cholesterol that I get from Sally's.
Cholesterol?
Cholesterol. Mm-hmm.
so what we need to do is nutritionally, we can affect change from the inside. And so by taking the caplets, eating foods that are high in these omega fatty acids, if we can start affecting change from the inside, that's the only time you're going to affect kind of long-term change. If you're only treating from the outside, that is not long-term.
Is that like biotin? That's like what's for
Yeah,
your-
the biotin is actually a,
fat meals.
it's, so biotin is a, hold on, vitamin. It is a B complex, one of the B complex vitamins. But again, if you're taking it orally, yes, it's going to affect change. If you're applying the biotin on the outside, it's doing the same thing. I used to use the biotin. Holy smokes, is that stuff expensive?
Yeah, I have the bottle of the pills.
Yeah, I use the, it's a 10 conditioner, and it's like $26 for an 8-ounce little bit. Oh my God, you have no idea.
So that's me, I'm bougie. I spend like $50 on shampoo and conditioner, and then like leave-in products is like $50.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what we spend. And then usually by the end of the day, I've got it up in a ponytail anyway. I just need to get this mop out of my face. All right, so here we have.
Lauren likes that.
I do. I'm just like, get it up, put it up, and then my curly girls know the minute it goes up, you're done for the day. You're done until you wash it. All right, so our omega-3, we can see 1, 2, 3. There's our first double bond. Now, I'm not referring to that's the only double bond. This could be a mono unsaturated where it is the only double bond, or it could be a polyunsaturated. It could be a medium chain. It could be a long chain. All I'm referring to is where is the first bond. This is what my body's going to look at first and say, okay, now I know what I'm supposed to do. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's my first double bond, omega-6. Now I do have some fancy names that we do have to learn. Omega-3's fancy name is alpha-linolenic. Alpha-linolenic. If you just keep touching your tongue to the top of your mouth, alpha-linolenic. Just keep touching your tongue, that's omega-3. Alpha-linolenic acid. Omega-6. Omega-6 is called linoleic. Linoleic acid, omega-6, alpha-linolenic, omega-3. So I am going to ask you, on the fat test, sometimes I may refer to these as omega-3 and omega-6. Sometimes I might refer to them as alpha-linolenic and linoleic. So you are going to want to know which is which. I'll give you guys a minute. You're my little note takers. I love it. Ugh. You guys still doing microscopes and stuff in Lab Pro?
We haven't
Yeah.
started
We
yet.
haven't really gone to the microscope presentation, like we're still finishing up the lab equipment and then we're starting.
Oh.
They had like.
We did the
Yeah.
refractor meter yesterday.
Oh my gosh, the refractometer.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Where you get to see your total protein or your specific gravity, the concentration of things, like urine.
Yeah.
Put a drop of urine on there and it'll tell you how concentrated it is.
And plasma.
That's pretty awesome. All right, so the first omega we're going to discuss is the omega-3, which is alpha-linolenic acid. What does our body do with omega-3 fatty acids? Well, it helps to reduce inflammation. In fact, in our senior pet foods, some of our senior pet foods, you're going to see a higher amount of omega-3 fatty acids because of this. Senior pets develop arthritis. What is arthritis by definition? Inflammation of a joint. Omega-3 takes down inflammation. We're able to have change from the inside. Omega-3 also helps with our cognitive function. Oh my God, I think maybe some of you are omega-3 deficient. Because what is your cognitive function?
Your brain.
Your
Using
brain, your thinking.
Able to use your noodle. I think I am omega-3 deficient. Does anyone else? I don't know if it's just me. So just no, very, very serious, like a poll question. They're talking now about what's called COVID fog, COVID brain fog.
Yeah, where it's,
And you're just, your brain is, it's almost like a PTSD,
Oh,
where your brain is so overwhelmed for so long that it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to focus on anything.
Yeah.
I was like that before COVID.
I have been, so I am, you know, a pretty on the ball person. I have been making the most stupid mistakes that I would never have made in my entire life. I'm gonna make, I should be pausing this, but oh well. It's on video now for prosperity. I mean, and I'm talking big mistakes. Huge.
I know about mistakes.
You know about mistakes. No, just stupid things. Like right now I have my rubies who are my seniors. They are going through a VTNE prep class. And it's an online thing through this program called Zuku. And it is my job to send in their registrations to the company and get them all registered. Yeah, I registered all the Sterlings.
Oh my God.
What'd you do? It cut out. I didn't even hear it.
Registered the wrong cohort for the class.
Oh.
Oops. So I had to call the guy yesterday and be like, you are going to kill me. But just crazy. So yeah, I'm looking at this now thinking I might have a fatty acid deficiency. Maybe I should start taking some omega-3 fatty acid supplements.
You
Have
should
you
take
seen
some
that,
omega-3.
Have you seen those pills that they make now for like cognitive function for old people?
Yeah. What are you?
I take cognitive function every day for school.
I don't think I like the implication.
No, it's for
I
like
do love the way she
ancient.
did the
I'm
quote
talking
unquote
like
old
80 and
people.
older. It's 80 and older, not 80.
Deeper there, my dear.
I think the correct word would be like for our seniors.
Are they like fish oil pills? Sort of. So you're thinking of cod liver oil.
All I know is that fish oil pills is why I was asking.
So fish oil is a fatty acid. These are specific omega-3 fatty acid tablets. You can get the fish cod liver oil, which are a combination of several fatty acid supplements, and are disgusting.
I know there's no
Even the pills are so gross.
Fish oil is not bad.
It
You
is
are
when you burp it.
Does it smell fishy?
Strawberry banana flavored. Try it.
Well, it's there for
Ew.
no, it's like no, it's there for posterity.
Yeah. They didn't even hear her.
What? What?
We didn't hear what you said. What was your comment?
Fish oil is good.
He said strawberry banana flavored fish.
Yeah.
I said it was good up until you burp it up.
No, it is good. Whenever I was a little kid, I'd go into my grandma's store and go steal the big bottles of fish oil and just drink it.
Ew.
It's okay. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Like it literally tastes like strawberry banana.
Never said in my life, bless your little heart. Omega-3 helps with visual acuity. Tell me what that means.
You can see better.
Yeah, it's going to help with your vision. So cognitive function, visual acuity, we're also going to see a lot of omega-3s in our puppy growth. Right? It's going to help with the maturation of the eye function. It's going to help with that cognitive function. And it also reduces the chances of CHF. Does anyone want to guess? Nice! Who said that? Yeah. Congestive heart failure and cancer. So omega-3 fatty acid does a lot of pretty groovy stuff. What happens if we don't have it? If we are deficient? Well, we're going to have fatigue. Well, that kind of makes sense. Fatty acid is still a fat. Fat produces energy. If you're deficient, you're not producing energy. What do you have ipso facto? Fatigue. Poor brain function, dry skin, heart problems. Oh, Lord, mood swings. I definitely think some of you might have a fatty acid deficiency. Mood swings. Depression. Poor circulation because of the impact on the heart. So overall, alpha-linolenic acid is pretty important. We all need to go get, I would say half of you get the fatty acid supplement and the other half don't. And we have our control group and we will see if there is a change.
Okay, well, then you have to assign it so none of us know which one's what you got.
Right? I will, just a double-blind study.
Yeah.
Where every day when you come in, I will hand out a tablet. And you will either be receiving you will either be receiving the fatty acid supplement or you will be receiving something that is not the fatty acid supplement. And we'll see if those who are in the study have any improvement. Somehow though, I'm gonna say, I'm willing to bet that doing a scientific experiment with medications on students is frowned upon. So we do have a big accreditation coming up.
Well, I mean, it's just frowned upon.
It is just frowned. And you know, I can have a release form that you all sign.
It's just not up the idea.
Super legit.
We only get omega-3 like in a tofu or like a supplement. And they like get it from like food and certain.
I am so happy that you just asked that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bam. So we can get it in supplement form, in capsule.
I don't like
But
any
these are
of
some
Yeah.
foods that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So we have our fatty fish, which is like our cod liver oil.
Oh my goodness.
But it's the fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, herring, trout, pilchards, bluefish, tuna. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, that's tuna. Okay, I like tuna.
I like walnuts.
Fish is disgusting. I don't eat any seafood.
Yeah, same. No, for real, same.
No.
Seafood is like the best.
No.
Oh my
No,
Uh-uh.
no seafood at all. No, thank you.
I'll make myself 2 cents.
Some of our oils, canola oil, very high in omega-3s. Some of our seeds, pumpkin seeds, soy and tofu, also disgusting,
Yeah.
high in omega-3s.
You haven't had the best kind of tofu. That's why.
You have to eat it right. You can't substitute it for something else.
No, it's disgusting. It's
I
like
need him to not
it's
tell
this
me.
one
That's
place that I actually
what
like
it is.
tofu is like crunchy pudding.
No,
It's not
because
crunchy.
don't make it right.
It's
You can make it
disgusting.
crunchy, but it's not crunchy. It's squishy. I like it squishy.
I don't like that texture.
I'm a textured person. I
Yeah.
am very highly sensitive to texture.
too. I don't like yogurt.
I love vegetables.
And if it's like hard pudding, I can't do it. No. No.
Yeah.
Green leafy vegetables, but
Like
I want to make a
spinach.
clarification. This is gonna be dark green leafy vegetables.
It's like
Your
spinach.
spinach,
Kale.
kale. This is not gonna be your iceberg lettuce.
I like spinach potatoes.
You don't
I like
get
both.
anything
Doesn't matter.
nutritional from iceberg lettuce except some water.
Ooh, this sounds so good right now.
Venison and what?
Oh.
Go get you a buff. No, you two just shut your face. Shut your pie holes right now.
We're gonna go another
The
time.
rest of you, go grab yourself a buffalo burger at Bubba's. Get you your omega-3 fatty acids. Stem off that heart attack. Make your brain function better.
I want to
Improve
try
your-
this buffalo burger. Somebody needs to show me where it's at.
Get out of the depression. Buffalo burgers will set you free.
We're gonna go get it. And you have to come with us so we can make sure we order the right thing.
It's not. They only sell
That's
two
what-
things.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but maybe we
Well,
order the wrong thing or
Hamburgers
something.
and buffalo burgers, and so you just go up and said like one buffalo burger, please.
Yeah.
Well, look, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it either. It was like in between.
Okay, I'm sorry to say, but you're wrong. You're not right today. Just- yeah, you're incorrect. So just keep it to yourself. My God, I feel sassy this morning. I am feeling sassy.
You are sassy this morning, Miss Huff.
Got my shenanigan pants on. Some eggs are enhanced. So these are some of the foods. Where does this apply to our dog foods? Well, we do see the oils in our dog and cat foods. We do see the fatty fishes, especially in our cat foods. And we're going to see sometimes, not these specific nuts, but we are going to see some seeds and some grains in our dog and cat foods. So nutritionally, there are places other than just getting a supplement that you can get our alpha-linolenic acid. Our omega-6 fatty acid, linoleic acid. All right, so we actually have three, creepy rule of three essential fatty acids. Now, when I say the word essential, it means that I have to take it from an outside source. My body cannot manufacture it for itself.
Okay, is there a way to move that bar?
Oh, yes, there is.
Converted to.
Oh, whoops. So we have three essential fatty acids in the cat. In the dog, they have two. Because one of the fatty acids we'll be discussing, we haven't discussed it yet, is created by converting one of the other fatty acids. So in our dog, omega-6 fatty acid gets converted into another form of fatty acid that they are then able to use as needed. The other type of fatty acid, the AA, is called arachidonic acid. You don't have to furiously write that down. We're going to talk about it here in a second. But cats cannot. So cats have three essential fatty acids they have to have in the diet. Omega-3, alpha-linolenic acid, omega-6, linoleic acid, and arachidonic acid. Dogs have two, the omega-3 and the omega-6, because they can convert the omega-6 into the arachidonic acid. Omega-6, though, helps with our skin and hair growth, maintains bone health, metabolism, reproduction. And the other thing I want to mention is arachidonic acid is only found in animal meat, animal protein. This is one of the reasons why cats are obligate carnivores. They have to eat animal-based protein. There are nutrients they can only get from animal-based proteins. They cannot get it from the vegetable sources or the plant sources. Arachidonic acid is one of those. This omega-6 is what you're going to find infused in your products, right, to help with your hair and your skin. Going to be found in nuts and seeds as well as vegetable oil. So that's our omega-6 fatty acid, linoleic. Omega-6 converts to arachidonic in the dog, but not in the cat.
So dogs also get the arachidonic from meat, or?
So they're going to get their arachidonic by converting the linoleic acid. So I don't have, if I have dog food here, I do not have to add arachidonic acid to it because they're going to create it for themselves. If I have a thing of cat food here, though, I do have to add it because they cannot get it for themselves. There are both meat and plant sources of this type of arachidonic acid. Cats can only use the one that comes from meat. Does that make sense?
Is that why cats' stomachs are so sensitive, or?
Cats are aliens. Cats are aliens. Cats are aliens. They have different nutritional needs than any other animal on the planet. Their organs do not get along with them. They don't get along with their kidneys on the best of day. Their livers are striving to kill them. Nutritionally, they have different needs than any other animal on the planet. The way that they break down food is different than any other animal on the planet. The way they reproduce is different than any other animal on the planet. They're aliens sent here by the overlords to come and report back.
To love me.
Yes, they did have it right. Either that or cats are like that, what is it called? When you're in a video game and you have the non-playing
an NPC?
What is it, NPC?
You're just talking about those characters that are just in the background, right?
Yeah.
Right, or sometimes they'll interact with you like in Animal Crossing, all of your villagers. They are not playable by you, but they still interact with your character and they kind of sometimes lead you along. If we're living in a computer simulation, I think cats are that. That they're just there to kind of move the storyline along. Yeah, there is a big theory that we're all living in a computer simulation.
Yeah.
And it's run by cats.
They're the little guy that just kind of leads the game, keeps it going forward. So yeah, instead of pondering about is this a test question, ponder the meaning of life and whether or not we are in fact all living in a computer simulation, and then go on to the Reddit site called Glitch in the Matrix.
That's
You follow that one? Glitch in the Matrix. Sometimes it's creepy.
What is that like Reddit? Like what is that?
like a forum.
It's
What
just
is
a bunch
Reddit?
of forums. I know, right? It's a bunch
It's
of
like a
forums.
whole forum of any topic. and
Every topic you could possibly think of.
All the, yeah,
If
the
you have an
conspiracy theories,
interest
if you will.
in four-toed, pink-haired mimes, there is a society that you can join that will support that
Like there's
and
one for
share
vacuums.
information.
It's just
And one of the ones I love is I follow is Glitch the Matrix. I also love the one called Dead or Vegetable.
Wait,
It's kind of dark. It's kind of.
that sounds dark.
Yeah, it's just people having horrific accidents, and then everyone votes if they're dead or a vegetable.
Oh my god. That was darker than what I
Oh my goodness.
Little insight into Miss Huff's brain.
Okay. My sister and I will publish it.
But yeah, you sign up for whatever interests you, and then on your homepage, kind of like Facebook, where you follow, it will.
You can't be rude to people, or you can't like comment or
No, there are specific rules for every Reddit subreddit.
It has its own.
Yeah.
But you can go in and comment and post, but it's just another social media. I never post anything. I just like to scroll through. It's what I do at night before I go to bed to turn my brain off.
I follow the one for bedtime.
I do not, because I am trying to, when I'm going to bed, stop thinking about work and stuff. All right, so here we have, this is, I think, a picture out of one of the older textbooks, just showing cats are 3 essential fatty acids. Linoleic, which is omega-6, alpha-linolenic, which is omega-3, arachidonic is essential in the cat. Visual people, you know me, I am an insanely, I'm probably the most visual person you've ever met in your life. Arachidonic to me sounds like the word arachnid. And what I immediately think of in my mind is a cat playing with like a little daddy long legs.
Yeah, I think about spiders.
Cute little daddy long legs. And that visualization helps me remember arachidonic equals essential in the cat. My dogs don't need the arachidonic in their diet because they can convert it from the linoleic. So dogs have 2 essential fatty acids, cats have the 3. Does that make sense? Did everyone follow me on the bus with that one?
Yes.
Fabulous. I know, they all look like an alien.
Yeah.
They all do. I think so. I do think so. Like they really do. Their reproductive status is crazy. Everything about them is kind of crazy. I know.
Like dogs were like, we like that wolf. We're just gonna take you and make you into our friend. But cats just kind of wandered in.
Well, and we've never truly domesticated them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to love you.
Like my cat could live on his own in the wild, no problems. I would never worry about
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
My dog, he would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he has a scraped nose, and I don't even know where he got that. The whole
Oh my
time
God.
his nose is scraped off. Like he can't. No.
My significant other has 2 cats who are inside outside. And they could revert back if we never came home again. They would be like, man, they wouldn't care. Poppy and Maisie, on the other hand,
Would not.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
They had to go out this morning to go potty, and you would have thought that I was asking them to amputate a leg. Maisie's like,
The grass is crunchy.
the grass is too cold. And then it's like 2 minutes. It's not like I left them out there for any length of time. I go to let them back in, and Maisie is literally shaking so hard she could barely walk in the house. Really? Really? And then shoots me that side eye as she walks in.
Like
Like,
she's
oh,
judging you.
You little sassy pants. All right, so here's our arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid, whether it is in the nutrition for our cats or converted in our dogs, it does the same thing. It's going to act like a hormone. And basically what it does primarily is vasoconstriction and vasodilation. What is happening here? Your blood vessels are getting bigger and smaller depending on what your blood supply needs are. Muscle contraction, blood pressure also goes towards our vasoconstriction, vasodilation. Body temperature regulation, blood clotting, kind of important, and inflammation control. So these are going to be, now when I say they are hormone-like actions, what we are looking at is hormones tend to have a more generalized systemic change within the body, if we're talking about like endocrine. So these hormones are going to change the overall status of the body versus a localized area. So that's what I'm saying when I say they're hormone-like actions. So those are the functions of our arachidonic acid, regardless, again, if it's in the food, like for our cats, or if it's converted, like in our dogs.
Sorry, you're saying that arachidonic is more local?
So hormone, whenever I say it has a hormone-like effect, it means that we're having a big change in the body, a full body change. This is not causing one vein to contract and expand. It's affecting the whole body. It's not causing one area to have effect on blood pressure. It's affecting the whole body. So when we say it's a hormone-like, it means big, sweeping, generalized changes. Like it's not changing the body temperature in just your pinky toe. Generalized, systemic, overall regulation of your temperature.
So it's a constriction when if the vessels like get bigger?
So vasodilation is when they get bigger. Vasoconstriction is when they get smaller. When a blood vessel gets smaller, the blood pressure goes up. When the blood vessel gets bigger, the blood pressure goes down. Give you guys another minute. Oh, excuse me. Douglas. Golly, get back on the wheel, man. I used his full name because, my gosh, he can't be doing that right now. I have hours and hours and hours left to do here. Guru.
Yeah, and it's contagious, so.
I know. But the great thing is that you can't see my face, so the yawn wasn't contagious. Although
I heard it.
It actually isn't that we did a science thing and like middle school. It's actually a hormone that gets released when you yawn, and that's.
It is also, here's an interesting yawn fact, because it's Tuesday and I can do whatever I want, it's my class. Yawning, so no one actually knows, we think it might have to do with balancing oxygenation levels and carbon dioxide levels because you're taking in a lovely big deep breath. Here's the other thing that's kind of a fun little trivia about yawns and why they're contagious. Yes, it's thought that there is some sort of sensory contagion. It's also behavioral. So it's left over from the evolutionary days. So if you go to the zoo and you're looking at the non-human primates, you know we don't call them monkeys anymore, right?
No.
Yeah, we're not allowed to call them monkeys anymore. They're not monkeys. They're non-human primates. Yeah, non-human primates. We have old world and new world non-human primates. Non-human primate.
So,
it's an old world.
So not an ape?
We don't normally call them apes. It's kind of a faux pas. Like it's kind of a slur. If you were a non-human primate, you would be offended if somebody called you an ape. Anyway, it's good to be the king and the queen of the tribe. And so what happens is you'll have a little guy over there who decides, hey, I'm not sure if I want to challenge him, but I'm going to test the water. And so what he does is he looks over. I'm going to move back, get naked here. And he'll look over and he'll feign a yawn. Well, what he's doing is he's showing you his weaponry. And he's saying, hey, this is what I've got.
Like what baboons do usually on the shows.
And then the other non-human primate will write back at him saying, okay, buddy, this is what I got packing. You're going to want to rethink this. So it is accepted that human primates, evolved primates, this is a biological evolutionary thing that when I yawn, even though it's involuntary, because I am adjusting gases, blood gases, your primal lizard primate brain is like,
Oh, yeah?
did she just threaten us? No, she didn't. And then you yawn back at me. And here's the crazy thing, because we've also adopted a secondary behavior as it became not a threat. And it doesn't matter what culture you are in, what have we evolved to do when you yawn? Cover your mouth. Because what I'm saying is I'm adjusting my blood gases. I'm not a threat to you. I'm not trying to threaten you at all. What?
What about when you yawn and, oh, sorry. Yeah, I think that's. Oh, yeah, when your dog yawns after you yawn.
Huh?
Have you ever like yawned in front of your dog and they've seen it and then they yawned because of
Yes,
the yawn?
so a dog will yawn to show they are not a threat. They have the opposite behavior.
Oh.
If you've ever seen two dogs kind of play fighting, one of them will yawn. And in the dog world, it's the opposite meaning. When they yawn, they're telling you, I am not a threat. Also, when they sneeze, a yawn or a sneeze in the canine world is saying, I'm just playing, dude. I don't want to get serious about this. I don't want to get serious. And so when you're playing with your dog kind of rough, and they'll just kind of turn away and go, they're saying, okay, you're getting a little too serious. I'm just playing. Okay, so I'm not challenging you. Chillax. You're the alpha. I admit it. Whatever you want. So in the dog world, it is opposite. So when you yawn to a dog, you're telling them, I am not a threat. And what they do in return is tell you they are not a threat. It's the same thing as if you, and every animal has their own behavioral traits that say whether or not they're trying to tell you I am a threat.
Like horses, they flap their teeth.
And they'll flap their lips.
Yeah.
They have the floppy lips and they'll do the bottom lip, and that's telling them. Cats slowly blink. Try this if you have a cat at home. Go on up to them and just a very slow.
But yawning is also a form of stress and exhaustion, right?
Yawning in a cat can indicate stress. So every single animal has a different meaning as far as the yawn. Us being primates, ours is a meaning of potential threat, which is why we've evolved to cover our mouths. And that's not a learned behavior.
You can't see it.
I know, so we're just yawning and not covering our mouths anymore.
I know, well, because we don't have to anymore, but it's still, I saw you do it. You were yawning, and the first thing you do is you bring your hand up.
I still
I
do
think
that
that I've
too.
been so happy about wearing masks because of that.
Right?
I
Well,
feel like-
and I can make facial expressions that I'm not normally allowed to make in public.
Or you
I know
don't
this
have
mask came
to.
in
Like
handy
at work,
for,
I
like,
don't smile
my-
anymore.
Yeah.
Just put your eyes.
So there's our behavior for today. I find psychology is fascinating. Animal psychology is absolutely fascinating. And how everybody has the same action with different meanings. This is the kind of stuff I sit at home and think about.
It's interesting.
While you're struggling with the existential, whether or not it is a test,
Whether it's true or
test question or not a test question. All right, so essential fatty acids, we now know the individual roles that they play. But overall, they are very important in kidney health. Kidneys are uber, super duper, uber dependent on fatty acids. So if I have a fatty acid deficiency, guess what organ function is also going to be compromised? Kidney function. I want to talk about one of these signs of, when I'm talking here about signs of deficiency, this is just overall general. So here, alopecia. Tell me alopecia.
Thank you.
Hair loss. Why would I have hair loss with a fatty acid deficiency? Let's walk this through. We know that omega-6 conditions hair and nails. But we also know that our nutrients are the building blocks for other nutrients. If we're deficient in one, we can't use the rest. So if I'm deficient in a fatty acid, my body's no longer able to utilize protein normally. What's this made of? Protein. So if my body can't use protein normally because I'm deficient in fatty acid, is my body really going to waste the ability to make protein and put it in my hair? Of course it's not. I'm also going to have the dull hair coat because of the omega-6 that we just talked about. Anemia. Tell me by definition, what is anemia? Lack of blood.
Yeah.
Lack of blood. Here's why I have anemia with a fatty acid deficiency. I'm going to do a little critical thinking train here. Fatty acids are necessary for kidney health. Kidneys produce a hormone called erythropoietin, the formation of red blood cells. Without a fatty acid, my kidneys no longer work appropriately. They don't produce the erythropoietin. I don't produce new red blood cells. I become anemic. Did everyone follow me on that?
Yes.
And then finally, hepatic lipidosis, which is fatty liver. Well, let's think that one through. If I'm fatty acid deficiency, does that mean my body no longer needs it at all?
No.
Of course not. So where am I going to get it? Storage unit. Catabolizing large volumes of stored energy to get the fatty acids because House of Cards, House of Cards. Problem is I'm bringing it to the liver faster than she can convert it. It accumulates in the liver, developing a hepatic lipidosis. And then cats are even more susceptible to that because she is not able to convert catabolized adipose. Not easily. So hepatic lipidosis, fatty liver. Hepatic is liver, lipid, fat, osis, condition of.
Can you reverse the fatty liver once it?
It depends on how advanced it is. In cats, it's very difficult to do. Not impossible, but again, depends on how far gone is it. If they're into a hepatic lipidosis where they've already begun to go jaundice, we're in big trouble. And that's a big issue with our obesity in our cats. Because even without a fatty acid deficiency, simply breaking down catabolizing stored energy belongs up their liver. Well, how do I get weight off a cat if I can't catabolize adipose tissue? No, there's no answer for that. That's $1 billion question right there. That's the question you guys should be pondering because we make some big money on that one. So that's why it's nearly impossible to safely get weight off the cat. Because the only way to get weight off is to catabolize stored energy. The liver is the only thing that can do that. Their liver is not capable of doing that. So we end up with hepatic lipidosis. So just a little review over fats. They can be derived from animal and vegetable plant materials. However, not all fatty acids are created equally. We know that our cats can only use some fatty acids that are specifically from animal proteins. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories of energy. How many calories of energy did carbohydrates give us? 4. So twice the amount. But remember, we also have more than twice the steps to use it. It makes food taste good. And fatty acids are also essential for other nutrients, specifically our fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. Now, these are pretty important, these vitamins. We're going to go into a whole vitamins lecture here coming up. But just in a nutshell, vitamin A helps you see. It also helps immunity Groot. Vitamin D is what keeps your calcium and your phosphorus ratios in balance, keeping your bones strong, keeping your muscles contracting, keeping your nerves transmitting. Vitamin E is an antioxidant that is also super important for the health of immunity Groot. K stops you, excuse me, from bleeding out of every orifice. We have a lot of holes in us. Holes here, 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 bunch of holes down here. Even the pores of my skin are holes. Without the vitamin K, all of my blood vessels just go, ugh, and they rupture and they leak blood into all of my cavities. I start bleeding out of my eyes, my ears, my nose, the penis, the vagina, the rectum, sometimes even out of the pores of the skin. So yeah, without fat-soluble vitamins, we can't live, and we can't use them without fat. That's why I keep saying it, house of cards, house of cards. Every nutrient is dependent on another nutrient for our bodies to use. I think you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop it here for now. We're going to pick it up here on tomorrow. I think we're probably going to finish this up. It's the cutest little PowerPoint you ever did see. Yeah. Well, there's one, though, on ketoacidosis that is going to take me a little bit to go into. So we're going to finish up fats on tomorrow. We'll do some review, and then I know I don't normally do 2 tests in a single week, but these are such short, teeny, tiny little PowerPoints. We'll probably plan a test, I don't know. Tomorrow's what, Wednesday?
Friday?
You know what, let's just do Friday, and you know what I'll do? I'll plan it during class time. So that's the only thing that you'll have to do on Friday. We won't do lecture. You'll have your fat test. Give you a bit of a break on Friday. Only over fats. And I'm going to spend tomorrow doing review as well. The next chapter that we'll be starting tomorrow will be the amino acids and proteins. All right, any other comments, questions, concerns?
You said the fat test is on Friday during class time?
I'm going to schedule the fat test on Friday during class time. Give you guys a wee bit of a break.
And so do we gotta log into Zoom for that, or we just go straight into Moodle?
No, just go straight to Moodle. I won't be logging into Zoom. So you go straight to Moodle, and that'll give you, when you finish the test, that'll all be what you're doing for today, for Friday. That'll be my apology for assigning 2 tests in a single week. Is that fair compensation?
Yeah. As long as you don't have any test questions.
I'm gonna go through right now, and I'm gonna double check every single question in that stupid thing, because I don't need anyone having a whole weekend of existential, is it a test question or not?
And here I thought you were testing our Doug to see if we can think what you were thinking.
Critical thinking. And what?
I'll find it tomorrow if it was true or false.
Yes, I will find out and see what the default was set. I'm assuming the default is set to true.
Yeah, me too. I think true.
So I will check, but I'm going to throw that one out. All right, Zoomers, I'll see you on campus tomorrow. You guys, I'll see you on Zoom tomorrow. Have a most wonderful day.